Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about SoJust, which is a website that is featured within our textbook. It's a tool that teaches about anti-racism and social justice movements. So SoJust is a large collection of media that focuses on social justice movements and human rights endeavors throughout history. It covers lots of topics, but the main three that it really focuses on are the American Civil Rights Movement, LGBTQ plus rights, and women's rights. As I stated earlier, SoJust houses a lot of media, a lot of primary sources in the forms of speeches, songs, essays, poems, literature, letters, declarations, and acts. As you can see here, this is just a screenshot of the homepage, and on the left are all the different tabs to navigate to those sections. And also, as you can see in the middle towards the bottom here, there are favorite history links. These are links to outside resources that connect to the topics within SoJust. So, if you're exploring SoJust and you find something interesting and you want to learn more, there are other resources where you can do so. So the primary sources are showcased just like this. They're super simple, block text, cut and dry. One here is from essays about social justice. Another one is a song. And another one is a poem. So it kind of runs the spectrum of primary sources, not just like what you'd classically see in your textbook of just like some speech. I thought it was really cool that they had poems and songs. I thought it made it far more interesting. So while I was exploring the website, I read Susan B. Anthony's speech on women's right to vote. I know in my school experience we talked about her, and we probably even read a speech or two, but I didn't remember much of it before reading on this website. So reading this again, it really highlighted to me the connections between what she was talking about and what she was saying she wanted and what women deserved, and what we hear people all around the world today who are still fighting against gender inequality, what they are wishing for and hoping for and rallying for today. So in the classroom, SoJust provides primary sources to connect with lessons. So definitely some like real world connections between what they're hearing from the textbook and real people who were there and were experiencing these events and these movements. Additionally, SoJust is very simple to use with what I would call like common hardware, like a projector. It doesn't require any extra hardware that wouldn't be in a standard, at least kind of technologically savvy classroom. And it's easy to navigate just like with really basic understanding of websites. And then it also allows opportunities to connect historical context with modern social justice issues. So like I was saying about Susan B. Anthony's speech, it immediately, my mind, kind of connected her words to what is going on today in lots of parts in the world. So allowing students to view these primary resources is a great opportunity to connect it to what they're hearing and seeing in the news and around the world today. So some highlights about SoJust are that the sources come from throughout history. The earliest speech I could find was from 1789. It was a speech by George Washington. And then one of the more recent ones was from the early 2000s. So lots of different perspectives there about social justice and how the fight for social justice and anti-racism and human rights have evolved from that time to now. Additionally, there are multiple forms of media. Like I was saying earlier, it isn't just some letter from somebody who, maybe the student has never heard of before. Like the one song we looked at was Bob Dylan. Maybe kids in the classroom don't know who Bob Dylan is, but it's a little bit more easier to connect with things like songs and poems. They're a little bit more, emotionally driven than, say, a letter in a textbook, right? It's like the human side of the experience from the time period. And additionally, like I stated earlier, there are links that lead you to other resources and other tools if a user is seeking out more information. Some pitfalls of Sojust are that with each primary resource, there is little to no explanation about the actual resource. Some of them have little blurbs, on before them that explain a little bit of context, but the vast majority of them don't. So it's kind of up to the reader to know who the person is and what they were doing and why they were, expressing the things that they were and really what they're talking about. Sometimes it is, if you don't have any context, it's tough to determine what they're actually discussing. So, there are also no multimedia functions. This is a very text-based site. Even with the songs, there's no way to actually play the songs. It's just the lyrics. So I do wish that there was at least a link to maybe a YouTube video or something, but there's not. I mean, maybe it's good for, kind of doing like deep analysis of the lyrics, but for, just, learning about, like I was saying earlier, the emotional side of these experiences, I think having like sound clips within the website and hearing the singer actually sing the lyrics would be really helpful for students, but it's not there. Additionally, there are no activities within this website. Like I said, it is purely text-based. You are reading everything. There's no way to interact really with the website besides just navigating through it. And then lastly, it is fairly visually underwhelming. It is not a very modern looking website. I know that takes a lot of time and money, that organizations focusing on, kind of public or population health or human rights, don't have like big corporations do, so I understand that piece, but I would have wished that there was a little bit more visual appeal, especially if they're targeting a younger audience. So the 3 questions I have about this website for you guys is, one, like I said, there are no interactive features within this website. I personally think that it could benefit from some, and I want to know if you guys think so too, and if so, what kind of activities would you like to see? And by this, I mean really like individual activities for like, students to do on their own one-on-one within the website, or like a classroom-wide or group activities. My second question is like, so many tools that explore human rights violations often have themes that are graphic or unsettling, and this website is no different. It's not like it is outwardly graphic or unsettling, but it is frank in some of the themes that it explores. So I'm asking you guys, do you think that this affects the usability of this tool in the classroom, either positively or negatively? In other words, do you believe that students should be spared from some of the uglier parts of our history, or does learning the full and unadulterated versions of history benefit their understanding of the world around them? And 3, like I said earlier, this is a very, very text-heavy, information-based website. So at times it does feel a little bit like a textbook. Like I said, the songs and the poems do help to bring it away from that, but a lot of the times it does just feel like you're reading out of a textbook, but it's on a screen. With this in mind, do you think that Sojust is an acceptable tool to use on its own in the classroom, that it enhances the classroom experience on its own? And if not, what may a teacher have to do to or pair with this website to make it an enriching and engaging experience for students? All right, I'm excited to hear back from you guys. Thank you for listening.